I'd like to take the opportunity before we get going into tonight's ceremony to explain a little bit about what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how it all came about. My name is Alex Nuttall. For those who don't know, I'm your Member of Parliament in Barrie, Springwater, Oro-Medonte, and Canada's 150th anniversary of Confederation is fast approaching, just over a week away. And it's an important opportunity for us to celebrate Canada's shared history and achievements. And I want to use this occasion to highlight the important contributions and achievements of everyday Canadians, which often go unnoticed and unrecognized. The John Graves Simcoe Medal of Excellence was created to honor outstanding individuals and organizations that have gone above and beyond to contribute to our community and therefore our country as a whole. In April, we reached out to residents of Barrie, Springwater, Oro-Medonte for nominations, and were overwhelmed by the response. Our community is truly filled with inspiring, dedicated, and very, very caring people. So it's been my privilege to be able to call attention to the hard work and sacrifice made by so many for the benefit of the rest of us. I felt that it was important to name this award after John Graves Simcoe, who was the first Lieutenant Governor of Upper Canada and served as such from 1791 until 1796. He was instrumental in the introduction of institutions such as courts of law, trial by jury, English common law, and the eventual abolition of slavery. He was passionate, enthusiastic, a military man who brought his ideas, zest for life, and energetic personality to his position of service in Upper Canada. Today in Ontario, we celebrate John Graves Simcoe Day on the first Monday of August to recognize the contributions made to the founding of our country by our first Lieutenant Governor. The thing that I saw in John Graves Simcoe is that I identify with perhaps the best is, number one, it's local, obviously being in Simcoe County. But secondly was the idea of freedom. And I think that no matter where you are in the world, people identify Canada with freedom. And we've fought for freedom here at home, we fought for, and we continue to. We fought for freedom throughout the world. And obviously just this week I believe that we took over a mission in Latvia, and we've been asked again to look at sending a contingent back to Afghanistan. So people around the world see that Canada is synonymous with freedom, and certainly that's what John Graves Simcoe stood for. So 150 years later, it makes a lot of sense. This is the third evening award presentation, and we've hosted them both here and in the rural part of the riding, all to commemorate Canada's 150th. This evening we'll be recognizing 45 individuals. Just before we start through that process and introduce our MCs, I'd like to give two people who are known very well to you the opportunity to come up and say a few words. We'll start with Patrick Brown, the leader of the PC Party of Ontario and the MPP in Simcoe North.
Well, thank you, Alex, and what an incredible idea to recognize some of the incredible volunteers in our community on Canada's 150th birthday. You know, Canadians are very quiet sometimes in our pride, and I think having this opportunity to thank people that really go above and beyond is a wonderful initiative of Alex Nuttall. And Alex, thank you for doing this. Thank you for recognizing some of the great people in our community. And Barrie and Simcoe County really is unique in the sense that the volunteers are spectacular. And I'm sure it was, there was more choice than you can imagine recognizing 150 volunteers in Simcoe County. I'm always amazed. There's been so many huge projects in Simcoe County, but the way people have been so generous and volunteered in such an immense fashion is something pretty special about where we live. You know, just looking around the room, you know, seeing David Blencarn and that I Believe campaign and that incredible passion, the way the community rallied behind the hospital expansion. You know, seeing Rick Irvine and incredible fundraising for hospice. And, you know, every table there's examples of that where our community has set goals that were probably very ambitious at the beginning and achieved them. And we have some incredible infrastructure in our community, whether it is palliative care, whether it's hospitals, whether it's schools, whether it's protecting the environment. We've achieved a lot in Simcoe County, but it's because of the passion of individuals and people that believed in our community. And it's wonderful to see that this continues to be one of the most incredible places to live in the world, and that there are some very special spots in Canada, and I'm probably biased, but this is, I feel lucky every time I come home, and I see my grandfather's old friend in the back room, Rainer McCullough, and to think how this community has made strides decade after decade and continues to be a better and better place. We're lucky to live in Simcoe County, we're lucky to live in Barrie, and thank you for Alex Nuttall and recognizing the people that make our city incredible. So have a wonderful evening and congratulations on your medal.
Thank you, Patrick, and I know you have a crazy schedule now, so I appreciate you taking the time to help us recognize the amazing people in our community. His Worship Jeff Lehman, if you could come up, and greetings as well, sir.
Thank you so much, Alex, for allowing me just to say a few words. And first of all, on behalf of City Council, to all of those being recognized tonight for your contributions to the community, allow me to say thank you, not just on behalf of City Council, but the 150,000 residents of this city whose lives you have improved through your own actions. I could literally go table by table and talk about the people who are here tonight, and then I would insult the few that I don't. So at the risk of that, I'm only going to talk about one, and that's because the first mayor of the city of Barrie, Willard Kinsey, is sitting at the back here. It's only because Willard doesn't run, he lets me continue to be mayor. But I wanted to mention Willard because when we were inaugurated, the 2010 City Council was inaugurated, I asked Willard to come and say a few words. And what he said about public service and two leaders was, he said, be bold. And those words, I know Alex remembers them, I remember them, they've been repeated around the council table since. He said, there will always be somebody telling you it's not the right way to do it, be bold, go out and make a difference. And all of you who are being recognized here tonight had the courage to be bold and go and make a difference in your own fields of endeavor, and that's why MP Nuttall is recognizing you. And thank you so much for being bold. And Alex, what a wonderful way to help celebrate Canada's 150th anniversary. Thank you for allowing me to say a few words tonight.
It's Barrie's first mayor, Willard Kinsey. Come on up, sir. Mr. Willard Kinsey, Barrie's first mayor, like I said, at age 97. He's still donating and dedicated to make Barrie a better place. Through his life, Willard has stayed true to his belief that you should do your part for your community. As a councillor, before becoming mayor, he proposed two ideas that remain a part of what Barrie's known for today. He suggested developing the waterfront from swampland to an attraction for residents and visitors by infilling parts of the shoreline, which resulted in the creation of an area later known as Centennial Beach. Good call on that. I love it down there. Can you imagine that was still a swampland? Wouldn't hear the end of it. I lost my place. Oh, there, thank you. I talk, I don't read for a living, I apologize. Willard also sought to control the downtown traffic by changing the lights at the 5 points to an all-walk. As an avid trail user, the Waterfront Heritage Trail was inspired by Willard, and he envisioned a way for residents to learn about Barrie's history while enjoying an open-air experience on the city's waterfront. He's been a driving force behind advancements and progress in Barrie, and we're privileged to have him join us here so we can honor all the great work he's done. Thank you, Willard, and congratulations. Yolanda Gallo, please come up and accept your award. Yolanda is actively involved in the community with her passion for fundraising, public relations, and volunteerism for community groups, not-for-profit organizations. In 2014, she founded the Community Wholeness Center, a strictly volunteer-run organization that provides facilities, training, certification, development, rehabilitation, and eventual placement for people with disabilities or other disadvantaged individuals. This gives them opportunities within the community that allow them to prosper. Her volunteer work has led to several community initiatives, such as the Simcoe County Parents for Children's Mental Health Chapter. Along with this, she's been a volunteer with a host of other organizations. Thank you so much, Yolanda, for all that you do, and congratulations.
What made you decide to come up with this commemorative award? Because I've been researching him, and it's perfect for Barrie. Beautiful.
You know, the big thing for me was that we need to recognize the people that make our community and our country a really good place to live. And I think a lot of the time we give that thanks to the government, and it's just not the government. It's the people in the community who do the awesome work. So it was really important to me that A, we have a medal, and then once we started looking at who do we want to name it after, is it somebody who's done a lot in our community, or maybe a figure who lived long ago. And freedom is something that I talk about a lot in politics, and I found somebody who our entire county was named after that stood for freedom, and I thought it was a perfect fit. So the John Graves Simcoe Award of Excellence is what we went with.
And so, how long did it take you to pass that and get it approved? And like, was that? And you know, how did you do your research? How did you, like, because my God, there's hundreds and thousands of people you could have picked.
Well, I think we had a pretty good idea once we started the process as to where we wanted to go with it, and the team at our office, people who work on your behalf, spent a lot of time and effort making sure that everything went well, and we came up with the coin, came up with the logo, and all of those things. So everything just fit right into place, and we have amazing people working on our behalf in the office, and they did great work. So it was easy for me, and they did all of the work. So.
Excellent, fantastic. And one more question, because you know this just launched in April of this year. So the nominations, like you said at the beginning, must have been, do you know how many nominations you got?
I'm not even sure how many we've got, but thankfully, again, the amazing staff at the office sifted through everything. And you know what? Everyone who was nominated is going to receive a certificate. And we've narrowed it down to 150 people and organizations that will receive it.
Nice. Very nice. Okay, and is there anything you want to say about...
You know, the only thing I wanted to say is that...
Because everybody asks you questions. What about you? What would you like to say?
You know, it's neat to be part of it, right? And it's very, very humbling realizing how much other people have done in the community and get no recognition for it. And it's funny because in politics you do very little and get lots of recognition. So it's neat to be able to see people who are doing so much finally get the recognition they deserve.
That's amazing. That's great. So this is going to be an annual. This will be an annual.
We'll see what happens.
Okay, but this is just for this year for Canada's celebration.
That's right.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations.
You were the first guy that I came to remember 4 years ago.
Yeah, I remember when you started. I know.
Speech and I folded it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, thank you.
I have to jump into a photo if that's okay.
Thanks, Darren. That was awesome.